Hello my beautiful Hammerhead and welcome back to another Conquest Saturday. So today I'm gonna explain to you chapter 2 of the Conquest Last Argument of Kings rulebook, and this is the round sequence. So the summary of the round sequence is 5 steps. We have the reinforcement phase, the command, supremacy, action and victory phase, which sounds like a lot, but please believe me, again, it is rather pretty simple. Let's just begin in that order. Reinforcement phase. Reinforcement is basically, unlike other tabletop war games, we do not set up our armies in the beginning. Because in the beginning we only have our terrain and, the mission objectives. There's nothing else on board. So if you remember, let's just call it the weight class of the unit. We have light, medium and heavy. Those are now the important part here. Because in round 1, you get to choose one of your light units to come in automatically. And for the rest of them, for every unit, for every light unit you have, on a roll of 4 or less, you get to, put in that unit. That's pretty simple. On round 2, you get to choose again one of your units to come in for free. The light units are coming in again on a roll of 4 or less, and now your medium units come in on a 2 or less. In round 3, which is now the important part, is all of your light units are coming in automatically if you had a bad roll for them. Your medium units come in on a 4 or less and your heavy units on a 2 or less. And like in any other round, you get to choose one of your regiments to come in for free. In round 4, it's basically just the same again. All of the remaining medium units are coming in for free. The heavies on a 4 or less, and in round 5 all your heavies coming in automatically. That sounds bad because we are trained to think of games like there are only 5 rounds, but the rounds in Conquest Last Argument of Kings is really fast, so we go up to 10 rounds. So the command step is one of my favorite parts in Conquest, because you get to plan a little bit with your cards here. The cards are really important because you are the one who's choosing the order of activation for your army. And you have to think a little bit of what is your enemy going to do here. The important part here is, of course, first of all, if new units coming in because you rolled well or all the remaining regiments are coming into the game, you add those cards to the command phase. And if they died in the last round, just remove them, so your deck really shows what you have on the table. And here the important part is, think otherwise, because you are keeping the deck hidden. By that I mean the unit you want to go first has to be the one on top, because that's the one you're activating first. As an example, maybe you want your hero to go first because of reasons and not one of your light regiments. That would be bad for your plan, if that was your plan. Then we have step 3, the supremacy phase. Supremacy is basically just you roll off who goes first. That is one part of it. And by that I of course mean, first of all, you roll. Again, the person who has the lowest number on the die wins. If you have fewer cards than your opponent, then you get to modify your roll by 1. So plus minus 1 basically. If it's a tie, just roll again. In the supremacy phase, you get to have supremacy abilities. Those are the special abilities of your heroes. The active player, the person who gets to, activate first, can choose to activate a supremacy ability, which is just written on your character sheet thingy. Sorry, army list. There are so many spots where the abilities are explained. I'm sorry for that. And then the second player gets to activate the supremacy ability. I'm not going too much into this because all of the supremacy abilities and how they work are explained on the data card. Let's just say data card for now. And you only get to activate one per round. So if you have multiple heroes who could use the supremacy abilities, you only get to use one. If your character stance dies while the supremacy ability is activated, it doesn't affect it. The character dies, the ability is still in effect. So then we have the action phase. The action phase is where the majority of our time is spent and is of course the main dish of the game. Everything else is just dessert. So you first of all draw a command card, which we already stacked in the supremacy phase. Well, you pick a card, activate the unit, and then first of all we have draw events. Draw events are just like that. You draw a card, there is on some units an event that gets activated at that point. If a regiment has more than one draw event, you again only get to choose one, only if there is an ability that lets you choose two of them or more. Then you get to, well, decide which one gets activated first. If the unit is not on the battlefield, the draw event doesn't count, only if it's a hero character or another unit that has an ability to let them get to the board, then you get to have that, of course. Then you have two actions. Your first action, we will get to the actions in a moment. If your unit comes in as reinforcement, your first action has to be a march. So you just walk onto the battlefield and you're not allowed to charge an enemy. Your second action is something that we will talk about in just a second. And after your second action, you deactivate your regiment and your opponent is, well, it's then can draw a card and activate the regiment that's on the card. So the actions are really, really simple. We have out of combat and in combat actions, which is basically just what it sounds like. Out of combat is, well, it's marching, so walk. This is the only thing that you can do twice, so you can just walk faster over the board. You can charge into combat. You can rally, so if your morale is broken, you just say, hey guys, come back, and that's it. You can do the reform, which we will get to in another video. You can take aim, which is exactly that. I will tell you about that in another video. You can shoot your enemy, which is also the same thing. And you can pass. You can just say, okay, that's fine, do whatever. The in-combat actions are clash, so this is just it. Hit your enemy with a sword or a blunt weapon. You can do combat rally, which is again basically the same thing as rally. You can do combat reform, which is again the same thing. The only downside is you might get hurt by it. You can inspire. Inspire just gives you a bonus to hit your enemy. You can withdraw, which is again, yeah, well, you can run out of combat. And you can again pass. That's it. Last but not least, we have the free and additional actions, which is already in the name. If you have a free action because of some special rule, a draw event, or a spell, or anything else, you have a third action, basically. You are just not allowed to do something twice again. The only thing you can do twice is march. But there is the additional action, which lets you, just as an example, fight twice, which is great. And the fifth step is the victory phase, which is already in the name. With everything completed, everyone has drawn their cards, has done their actions. It is time to see who has more points now. And this is just something that we will have to talk about in another video, because every scenario has a different way of scoring points. So yeah, again, I know it sounds like a lot in the beginning, but it is really simple, and that's what I love about it. So next time I'm gonna tell you about chapter 3, which is out of combat actions. I might skip a Saturday for this, I don't know, because this one needs a little bit more preparation and editing than, well, chapter 1 and 2 right now. But we will have to wait and see how much time I have over the week. So, if you have any more questions, please let me know. Also, great news, I totally forgot, I don't know how, but I now have an affiliate link, or rather 2 affiliate links in the description box down below. Well, thank you Parabellum for that. One is for the shop in USA and Canada because of the shipping and tax reasons and so on, and the other one is EU and World. So wherever you are, there are 2 different codes. Both of them are in the description box down below. You get 10% off of everything you buy, and I get a little bit of kickback, which is directly going into the channel, which would be great, so we can make better videos and hopefully get more things that are great for both of us. But yeah, again, please leave your thoughts and questions in the comment section down below. I am keen to know what you have to say. And while you're down there, please remember to do all the YouTube stuff, because hitting buttons is not only fun. Why? Because that way we can build a bigger community and talk more wargaming almost every day. But until then, have a great day, my friend. Stay fantastic, stay hydrated, and I will see you in the next video. Bye, bye, bye.